Hey guys, it's Jag. Welcome back to the arcade. Today we're going to start a brand new series for the channel. Let's play just another game, Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy for the PlayStation 4. Now, obviously if you saw the title scroll, this was originally released on the PlayStation 2, but it got somewhat of a remaster and re-release for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita as the Jak and Daxter Collection, which was the original trilogy, and then in 2017, it was re-released again at 1080p along with Jak Racing for the PlayStation 4. Now, this is a remaster and not a remake, so I don't have real high hopes for seeing this game in 1080p, but to be perfectly frank, the original game was actually a really pretty PlayStation 2 game, and honestly, I think I love the Precursor Legacy most out of the entire Jak and Daxter trilogy. The later installments get kind of dark. They become more of a shooter platformer than a collectathon platformer, and they are a lot of fun in their own way. I will add them to the channel. But given that I've got Resident Evil 2 going up on the channel right now, I kind of felt like a retro fix was needed, something bright and colorful, something pure and innocent, just so that people didn't get overloaded on dark grittiness, and Jak and Daxter kind of fits the bill, so let's get started. We're gonna do a new game. These are just some of my practice recordings, and there are no subtitles in the game, so I will do my best to not talk over any cutscenes, so let's go.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose, and why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of green eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jak, old green stuff told us not to come here.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? I think we're in trouble! Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me. Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right, and then...
And, Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the three sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it, if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? 'Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest.
I almost get to talk now. So yeah, that is the premise of this game. You are basically trying to find the sage who can turn Daxter back to normal. And I'll let you guess how well that
These
goes.
floating egg-shaped things are precursor orbs. Collect enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange.
It's going to be really tricky to find places that I can and cannot talk, so I'm going to be a little bit shy. But precursor orbs and power cells kind of go against a little bit of what I was railing against in my Spyro Let's Play, if you watch that. Remember there that I said that villagers and NPCs hoard these little doodads that you need to save the world, and it's kind of foolish of them to do so instead of just giving the hero what he wants to be on their way.
This is a power cell, the most important precursor artifact you can find. You need to collect 20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grav zoomer.
The thing is, in this game, this is all technology that can't be reproduced, and it's The villagers depend on it for their way of life, so it makes sense that if you're going to take a power cell from them, they're going to ask compensation in the local currency. So in this case, it doesn't bother me that much because it makes sense. And now we got our first one. Every time you get a power cell, you get a free save and you get a nice little cutscene. And we get told that we're going to be saving our game and not to turn off the console. Circle spins, jump and square does a smash attack. Triangle is first person view, which feels weird. If you do the right stick, it's reversed. If you do the left stick, it's not reversed. Oh, that's weird. The left trigger button brings up your UI. The green glowy stuff is your life. We'll get explained more about that later. These don't attack, they're just dummies to practice with.
Sometimes you'll want to hit things with a greater force. To break one of these boxes, you should jump in the air and then dive down onto it, hands first.
So that's the move that I just showed off. Every time you see a red box like this, it contains one of
You
these.
found one of my scout flies. I sent 7 of them to each area to look for power cells, but the workers must have captured them all.
So clearly this is a secondary objective collectible. You want to find all 7 in the area because doing so will give you another power cell. There's the 7th right there. They will not be this easy to find, obviously.
Wow! That last scout fly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
I bet I can too. Alright, where else are we going here? Let's go to the beach. So yeah, the green doodads are green eco. 50 of them will give you more, will refill part of your life, or a big one will refill an entire life segment by itself. Unfortunately, they don't actually tell you that for a while in the tutorial, even though it's one of the first things that you come across. You don't get explained what it is until the tutorial is almost over.
Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some precursor artifacts when you get near them.
So we've already seen the effect that it breaks boxes just by being in proximity to you. They will break any box, I believe.
Blue Eco cluster you pick up increases the time you can use its power.
Even boxes that require a big hit to be able to unlock.
This is a precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling Blue Eco through your body.
But yeah, Blue Eco, if you're channeling Blue Eco, you can open any box no matter
That's
what.
a blue eco vent. More concentrated than the floating clusters. This vent will give you a full charge of blue eco, letting you use it for the maximum time.
So instead of those little nubs that we picked up on the way over here, let's just get a full charge and open this door the easy way. You can get enough blue eco charge to carry over here to this door and unlock it with those little nubs, but it's much easier just to use the vent. And we get a third power cell. Let's pause the game for a second.
Good work! The Blue Eco caused the door to open. With Blue Eco, you can breathe energy into all kinds of precursor artifacts that have lain dormant for years.
Pause the game for a second, let's see how we're doing. Find the cell on the path, open the precursor door, free 7 scout flies. We got 37 out of 50 precursor orbs, and there's 2,000 in the game. I will be doing a 100% run, which means there are a couple of power cells that I'm really going to struggle with. Now, the last time I did this game, or I played this game, was on the Vita, which means I was using those little crappy thumbsticks. Maybe I'll have a bit of an easier time with joysticks. but I think those 2 power cells I'm thinking of are just going to be a pain no matter
Those
what.
little green balls of energy on the ground are a type of eco. Pick up 50 small green ecos, or 1 big green one to increase your health.
So yeah, like I said, I don't know why they waited until now to tell you about it, considering you've been picking it up for quite a while now. But that's the official explanation. And we have...
Jump once, then jump again in the air to reach even higher ledges.
The old platforming cliche, double jump. That's all 50 precursor orbs. Let's not fall off. And there's our 4th power cell. So be very careful when channeling Blue Eco because you do move faster, you can run off these platforms, and you do take fall damage. Just be aware of that. Now, we can head back to the lab again. Let's go.
Good training, boys. But that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jak? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're, itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine, fine. Adventure away, then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
I love the characters in this game. Daxter's great, the Green Sage is great. Jak doesn't say a whole lot, but you know who's really great is Kira.
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
You don't know what you're missing.
Listen, if you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor pipeline hidden deep underground. Some of these pipes end in vents from which eco flows freely, and some have been capped off so that the eco is sealed back. There must be a way to turn the capped vents on. I traced part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there for some type of switch.
Yep, talking to people will give you your objectives. You will always be able to see what you haven't collected on the screen, but it doesn't tell you where they are until you actually highlight over them. Let's see here. The jungle? Nope. Nothing for the jungle yet. But yeah, if you get a clue as to what your task is, then you'll get told which orb goes where, and I really hate how these menus work. But until then, it's pretty much just wander around and discover, and if you don't get any clues as to where they are, good luck. They're not really all that difficult to find. But I think we're gonna call it an episode here, guys. Thanks for coming out and joining me today. As always, I appreciate your viewership. And next time we'll start on our adventure for real, so look forward to that. Y'all have a great day. Later.